Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the channel. I'm using my cool foldable phone right now. I'm so awesome. Definitely the wave of the future. I definitely did not get my old phone from the early 2000s to make this video. No, I did not. But you know what else would be cool? If you check out our sponsor. Line Paper. Do you have trouble writing a straight line? Are people making fun of your handwriting? Well, use our sponsor, Line Paper, and you'll never have those problems again. Thank you, Line Paper, for sponsoring this video. Hey there, guys. Welcome to the channel. It's Magister Wilby here, and I'm here to talk about a foldable phone. And no, it's not this one. It's not the StarTAC Motorola from early 2000s. I think I got it in 2002 when I turned 16, got my driver's license, and my parents wanted to know where I was. And as you can see, it's real simple. It flips up, has a replaceable battery, which is stuck. Oh, yep, yeah. And this was my phone, and it was kind of a cool phone. I liked it because, while other phones, yes, the Nokia couldn't be broken, I liked the flip feature, and it made me really stand out. But with the advent of smartphones, we get the candy bar shape. Yeah, I got those greasy fingers, so. And I haven't really liked the fact that I don't get my phone scratched because I drop them. I rarely drop my phones. It's because it's in my pocket and it doesn't really have a protector on the front. So I loved it when Motorola decided to bring back the Razr and make it foldable. I like the idea, but I don't think it's being utilized that well. I'm kind of waiting a little bit longer for the technology to mature. But I did check out a foldable phone that I do enjoy, and it is the Microsoft Surface. I was going to make this grand video about the Surface Duo right here. I was going to have tons of B-roll, like, oh, look at this shot right here. But yeah, I didn't really get to it. And I really just actually want to talk about this phone because I have been daily driving it for about a week, and there are some really good things about it. And this is the first generation Surface Duo, and some of the things Microsoft has taken care of, and some of the things they really haven't. First, let's get into it. It is a foldable phone. It has a glass two-side panel, the Surface Duo 1. It doesn't have a camera in the back, and you're gonna see, I got this off of eBay, and I'm gonna bring this up to here. This glass cracked, and this was all the used ones. It's cracked down here on the USB-C. That's everything you were finding, and they were still pretty expensive. I got this one for about under $200, but a full complete one, even the Surface Duo 1 like I have right here, still can fetch you around $700 on eBay. So they're tough to pick up used, and that's disappointing because this is a cool device. I'm glad I spent the $200 to check it out. And yes, it is a foldable phone. As you can see, it has a metal hinge right here, unlike other phones that has, glass that does fold. And it has two screens. It has two screens right here. And, it actually was just updated to Android 12, which has vastly improved the operating system. You do have a range of just Google apps and Microsoft apps, and some would consider that bloatware, especially since many people don't use Microsoft apps anymore in their personal lives. This phone, the Surface Duo, is not meant for everyday carry for every person. Unfortunately, this phone is for someone who likes productivity, who is working in an office. I know when I was a teacher, I would have loved a phone like this. Something that has two screens, that's a decent size for my big hands, and I could go back and forth from apps relatively easy. So I would, have a grade book, which would just basically be an Excel sheet on one side. Then I have my email set up. I could put reminders right there. This would have been amazing as a teacher. All right, so we have two screens right here. We have the camera right here. You got to flip it around. So then that's where you're shooting. The camera isn't great. On the Surface Duo 1, the camera is not great, but I don't really see a lot of people using this type of phone for photography. I just don't see it. Document scanning, yes. Taking a quick photo, definitely. But I don't see people holding up a selfie like this and taking the photo. It's dull, it's blurred out, and Microsoft really wasn't thinking about that when they made this phone, and they did make improvements for the Surface Duo 2, putting the camera bump on the back, raising the resolution, but this really isn't a phone that you would expect to use a camera for. So now, it does not have an expandable storage, which was disappointing. I think that would be a huge factor, especially since I believe this is a niche group of business people, productivity people, people really who need to work. And I think expanded storage would have been a great idea for Microsoft to make this. There are some issues, and these are tough. And this is what I worry about Surface products all the time, is that developers are not really investing in the dynamic and programs that you use on Surface devices. And we saw this all the way at the beginning when Windows had Windows RT, the tablet that failed because no one wanted to program for ARM as an SoC, or system on chip. And we're seeing that here. So you can either use your phone this way, or you can flip it and the screen flips with you. And this is amazing. It makes it into just like a little laptop, and when it works, it's great. You get the keyboard down here. Let's pull up Office right now. Pull up, come on. No, it's a little slower there. So if I pull up the document right here, and I want to go to type, you get your keyboard right here, and that's amazing. I like this. It fits nicely in my hands. I have the full-size keyboard pretty much. This is how it should function. This is how it should function, but it doesn't always function that way. So let me close that out right there. What you get is, like, let's open up Twitter. Like, Twitter doesn't utilize both screens, which you would really want. It tried right there, but it didn't. And that's a failure of design by app developers, and that's what's going to kind of bring down the Surface products, because like I said, I would have seen my younger self as a teacher using this every day in the classroom. This would be perfect. I had a tablet, but switching back and forth when you have a bunch of kids talking, it was kind of tough to do. And this would have been amazing. This would have been non-discrete, something I could easily pull out of my pocket. I used to have a podium where I'd keep things, but keeping this in my pocket would be amazing. And yeah, this is for people who work. This is for people who work, and I feel like Microsoft should really lean into that. Like, this is a productivity machine versus, this is for everybody. Not everybody's going to want this. I do not see a teenager picking this up thinking they're cool. There might be one or two, but yeah, I just don't see that. Screens are good. They do have large bezels, especially at the top where they have to keep the camera. There is a problem with the aspect ratio. So like when you open Instagram, like if you're looking at a reel, it cuts text off from the top. It's like that 4:3 that doesn't make any sense too much anymore. That's something I hope that, again, software design could fix. It's simple Android interface, a tap, boom. And again, multiple screens. It's simple Android. There are issues, so if I want to close, you're supposed to swipe up. It's pretty tough. Bring that down. Sometimes I get the notifications. Sometimes I get, sometimes I get that, depending on which way I swipe. And that's frustrating. That's frustration. But it's a pretty standard Android 12 experience. And Android 12 really, really improved upon the system. And I'm glad they updated. I was a little scared that they wouldn't update this system because it's not too old and should have, software support. And that's going to be the downfall. Now, the reason you want a foldable phone is it does make it small in your pocket. It also protects. Like, I'd rather have these cracks on the back here on the back than on the screen in front. And, compare it to, say, the iPhone 10, which is a smaller phone, boom. It's it's close to the same size. It's a little bit wider. And I'm not sure you would just buy this phone, the Surface. Let me give Microsoft a shout out right here by actually showing their window. I'm not sure you would actually buy this phone to have something that has a smaller footprint in your pocket. I would see you going with, say, something like the Flip. It's more of a, whoa, and I just flipped the old phone. Flip like this, and that's kind of like the expectation. To me, the Z Fold and the Surface Duo are more kind of like a foldable tablet, and that's kind of where it's at. A foldable tablet with 5G. I'm pretty sure this is 5G. I tried it with AT&T, and everything worked well. Calls worked well. I would like, if they do make a Surface 3, maybe a little notification screen somewhere on this. That way you don't have to open the phone. You can just ignore people because you see it. But overall, a great phone for those who have to work. Everyone worries about the specific specs of the chip in it. Yes, it's an older chip, but if you're doing text-based documents, uploading a photo here or there, not really doing massive pro work. Yes, it is for professionals, but a certain type of professional, not a creative professional. I do not see many YouTubers, artists using this phone either, which stinks. It really is. It would be nice to have, say, a drawing area right here, and then controls over there. That would be amazing. But as someone who does do digital art, you kind of want a full screen without, say, this right here. And frankly, since nothing really goes to screens, which that I found, there is a way to do it, and I'll definitely bring it up here. I'll pull up Twitter again. So let me exit out of that. Come on, get out of there. So you hold it down right here, and then drag it into the middle. You have two screens, and it really isn't that cumbersome. I work with dual screens with my desktop, but it doesn't look that great. Like, pictures look good, but text kind of cuts it off in the middle right there. I'm not sure you can see that, but yeah, it takes out letters. It's not the greatest system to go full screen on it, but it is an option. If they could alleviate that somehow, split the picture so it doesn't cut things off, I could see that being better. But I do prefer these metal hinges. I think they last longer than the Z Fold and Z Flip, so that is an improvement. So would I recommend this video? Or yes, I would definitely recommend this video. But would I recommend this phone? To people who work in an office, yes. To people who do a lot of document manipulation, definitely. Would I recommend it to everyone else? No, I would not. I don't think that the apps are supported on it, which is not Microsoft's fault. It really isn't. I really wish developers would get onto like Surface, the Surface line. I would love to see another Surface ARM, tablet again, or computer, like a very serious one, not what we've had before, where it's ad hoc, programs are messed up. I think that would force, if Microsoft was able to go, ARM based, like seriously, I think that would force Intel and AMD to really up their game and change things for x86. So I would love to see that, and I thought this would be a great start. I thought it would be a great start to that. So yeah, if you're into productivity or you just want to see a cool phone, I really hope that the Surface ones on eBay prices have dropped. This has been so entertaining to play with, and like, I love just sitting there like reading it like a book. Dual screens doing multiple things. Yeah, it's just this really cool piece of tech that I think is gonna fade into oblivion. I think Microsoft is gonna just be like, okay, we tried another phone, it failed, but I really hope they stick with it. There's a lot of tech out there that's really cool, and I hope the companies stick with it. And if you can get this for cheap on eBay, the first one, I know the Surface Duo 2 is still insanely expensive. I would pick it up if you want to play around with something, because like I said, this is pretty fun. So hope you found this informative. I hope you hit the like button, ring the notification bell. Hey, throw me a subscribe. You lasted this long. All right. So you're an amazing person. And I was watching another channel's video, and the guy just says, I love you at the end. So love you for watching. Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye.